Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? This is going to be one of those ramblings with Russell videos that I started last month. I was going to do a book haul. I have a bunch of new books to share with you guys, but I was just kind of not feeling the energy of that video, so I decided I would just get on and chat with you guys about what's going on in my life. So here you go. I hope you like it. First, I want to say thank you to everybody that commented on my last video where I talked about my grandma. She watched the video. She watches all of my YouTube videos, and she sent me the sweetest text message that you guys would ever read. Yes, my grandma is 90. Yes, she texts like a maniac. Yes, she's on Instagram and Facebook and all those kind of things. She's very technologically savvy for a woman in her 90s, or soon to be in her 90s. So she was very touched by everyone's comments and by the video. So I really thank you all for every nice thing that you guys said and that you guys liked some of those modern American classics that I put up. Some books were a little more polarizing than others. The Confederacy of Dunces, I didn't realize so many people had so many feelings about that book, but that was really interesting conversation. So I appreciate all of that. What have I been up to? Work has been crazy, as I told you guys before, still trying to get my mind around that. We are planning a 2-year wedding anniversary party in October. So Dan has been putting all of that together. He is a corporate event planner. I don't know if I've told you guys that in the past. So he works with nonprofits and venture capitalists and hospitals putting on their corporate events. So this is really his sweet spot, so he's really good at it. I try to add my 2 cents, but to me everything is I'm very visual. I have to see everything. I'm not conceptual, so he does all the conceptual parts of it, and then I kind of just step in. He has amazing taste, so I don't really have a lot to do. So we've been working on that because October we have my grandmother's 90th birthday, and then everyone's coming in the middle of October for that, so it's going to be a very busy month. I will be off work quite a bit of the month of October, so that's kind of been insane. What have I been doing otherwise other than reading? So we'll talk a little bit about reading in a bit, but music-wise, I'm kind of obsessed lately with the new Kesha album. I don't know if you guys have listened to it. Prior to this, I was never really a Kesha fan. I don't like sort of those auto-tuned pop albums, but I had been following her sort of trials and tribulations with her record label and the man who did awful things to her, and I still, that whole situation is ridiculous. And I feel for her, and when her new album came out, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a chance, see what she's doing. It is raw, and she's not the best singer, but you hear the emotion in her voice, and I really feel the power of it. There's some really great anthems, feminist anthems, power anthems, just about being yourself, standing up to the world. There's a duet with Dolly Parton on it, which is crazy. I'm a huge Dolly Parton fan, so it was kind of fun to see that. I didn't know that Kesha's mom was a songwriter and wrote a song for Dolly Parton years and years and years ago, and they duet that song on her album. I thought that was really cool. So I've been that's been my jam that I've been listening to over and over and over again. I have listened to a different podcast. So I told you guys about a couple podcasts last time. So let me sneak this one in. It's very different. It's called 34 Questions, and it's actually a podcast musical. And I thought it was a fascinating idea. My friend Emily, who I have known since my freshman year of college, put it on my Facebook. She says, I think you would like this. And it is really just a musical done in podcast form, which is fascinating because it's never going to be seen. So the whole story, plot, drama has to be told via dialogue and song when you don't know either of the characters. The male lead was played by someone I know. It was Jonathan Groff, if you guys know him from Glee. He was he was the original King George in Hamilton, if you've listened to that soundtrack. He's pretty famous. If you saw his face, you would probably know him. I didn't know the female lead. It's the story of a couple. At the beginning, they fall in love, they get married, and very soon into it, you find out that she has actually been lying about her entire life, and they've separated, and it's her going back to him. And when they met, they did this sort of psychology test called the 34 questions. So they use that as a way, she uses that as a way to try to get them back together. I won't sort of spoil it for you because there's a lot of drama that goes on through it. There's a very clever play with a duck that's rescued, and that becomes sort of a pet that I really enjoyed. The music was very good, and it was just fun and easy to listen to. And I was able to listen to it to and from work, and it's not very long. It's only 3 episodes of about an hour, but that's with commercials, with recap, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really that long. And I really liked that. And that was 34 questions. I'll try to see if they have a website below, but I found them on iTunes, so you may be able to find them there. But I will try to find a website and link them down below. So what else have I been up to? That seems to be about it. September is when I start my Christmas shopping, so I've been sort of planning that out. I've ordered books, children's books for all my nieces and nephews, trying to get those in so I can get those wrapped and ready. That has sort of been my MO every year since I started having little nieces and nephews. They get books by us. I aim to get them signed by the authors, so that's sort of my goal. As you can imagine, I ordered copies of Jen Campbell's Franklin's Flying Bookshop, which I adored, and asked that she sign them and send them to me for my nieces and nephews, which, if you guys are looking for something, totally worth it. And then, you know, you can kind of start their signed author collections for the children in your life. So that's been kind of fun, trying to figure out what I'm going to do for everyone else. Do you guys have this problem? My parents seem to have everything they want and everything they need, so it's kind of sometimes hard for me to figure out what I'm going to do for them for Christmas. But I have some ideas, so I'm throwing some stuff around. And that is about all of that. As far as reading goes, you know, I know everyone has seen that the Man Booker shortlist has come out, so there are 6 books on that list, and ironically I had read 3. That never really happens to me. I've read Exit West, I've read Lincoln in the Bardo, and I've read History of Wolves, and I had Autumn and Elmet on my shelf. So I actually just finished Autumn yesterday, and so I was like, you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to get through all of the Man Booker shortlist, and then I'll do a video once I've read them all. So I just picked up Elmet this morning. Very thankful. I haven't hauled this yet. My friend Vix over at Bilingual Bookworm was in Britain, and she picked me up a copy and sent it to me, and I am so thankful because it's not available till December here in the US, but I'm going to try to get through that one. And then here's The Problem Child. Here's The Problem Child, I'll be honest with you, and that is Paul Auster's 4321. Look at how big this book is. It's ginormous. I think it's over 800 pages long. I'm not even, yeah, it's like 850 pages. But inspired by Matthew Sharapa on his channel, he's done a couple of vlogs about reading this, so I will link his channel below. If you guys are not subscribed to Matthew's channel, you really should be. He has an energy and a creative nature to his videos that I just wish I had. I don't have that same creative nature. And he's very inspiring, and he talks about so many different types of books. If you want to see something really interesting, he did this build your own recommendation video, and then he followed it up by giving recommendations to the people who commented. And the gamut of books that he's recommending is crazy. Sorry, I wasn't going to talk about Matthew that long, but I'll link his channel down below. But he did 2 vlog postings on 4321. I do love Paul Auster. I've read a bunch of his books. So I'm going to read Elmet, and then I'm going to try to get through this. I aim to read about 100 pages a day, which means that Paul Auster's book's going to take me over 8 days, which I don't usually like to dedicate that much time to one book, but we're going to try. And then I'll try to do a video in the coming weeks before the announcement of the award saying which one I think should win. I have one in my head that's a clear front runner. So either Elmet or Paul Auster's book is definitely going to have to blow me out of the water. But that's okay. I think it's fine to have a front runner. You know, I have read a lot of really, really, really good books this year. So I have to say that this is an amazing reading year for me overall. I started reading the books from my 5-star TBR prediction video, so I will be going through those. Didn't start off very successful. Hint, hint. Spoiler, spoiler. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of those books. And so that's pretty much it. I'm going to do a video, I think, about Unnamed Press in the future too. I have been reading their books and I just love them. I've talked to you guys about them a lot. They sent me a couple of arcs of a couple of sci-fi, well, one sci-fi, one sort of fantasy book that they have coming out that just sounds so good. I started another one before I decided to do this Man Booker thing. I just love everything I've read by them, so I think I'm going to do a video just based on them, totally stealing it from Mercedes at Mercy's Musings, who did a video on Unnamed Press, and let me tell you, inspired me to just become a huge fan of them. So I definitely am going to do that because I'm just a huge fan, and I want to share that with you guys. And they're, you know, based in LA, here in California. They're local, they're great, they ship all their own stuff if you order it from their website. So I really like them. So I'm going to do that, I think, in the near future. And I'm kind of throwing around a couple of other ideas. I told you guys in another video that I'm coming up with a plan for 2018, something I want to do. I'm hoping to have a couple more pieces fall into place before I announce it, but I'm super excited about it, so I hope you guys will be too when I do the announcement video. And that is that. What are you guys up to? What has been going on in the last month for you guys? Any fun things that I should be listening to, watching? I didn't mention any television because I haven't really been watching any TV. I'm just not feeling TV and movies right now, so it's not been my thing. Yeah, so I don't have anything in that category. So tell me what you guys have been up to. Let's chat around. As always, if you are a return subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate all of your time. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much. And until I talk to you next time, happy reading, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.